Hiya, this is Jenny from Just Being Me, and you're listening to the Learning to Love Yourself podcast, the show that inspires you to put yourself first.
Learning to love yourself on the path to happiness. Learning to love yourself on the path to happiness.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and I'm the owner of Just Being Me, the intuitive coaching business. I'm really hoping you all had a restful and enjoyable Christmas, but I'm also very aware that it can be the season of a lot of stress and loneliness. So today I want to talk to you about self-care and the practice of looking after you. We're heading for January, the time when most people attempt a new start in some way in their life. Be that the old classics of exercise, going on a diet, drinking habits. Whatever it is, you stand a much better chance of sticking to it if you've learned to look after yourself first. Many of you will say, well, I do that. But actually, mostly we play at it and we aren't consistent. I know this because I was saying it too for so many years. We instinctively look after others first, your kids, your parents, your boss, your work colleagues, your friends. We have been brought up to think that putting ourselves first is selfish. And if you only ever thought about yourself, then that would be true. But I'm talking about putting yourself first until your cup is overflowing. Then you can give to others from the most productive place, which is your overflow. And why do we fill our cups first? Because that's the best way to do it. If you practice self-care on a regular basis, then you literally will only be topping up your cup each day because you're very rarely going to drain it completely down. There will be days when you need to put extra self-care in because certain things happen. We always have worse days than others, and that's the day to add into your self-care. But you can do daily self-care in small doses. It doesn't have to be something that takes hours. I've got some short videos, none of which take longer than 3 minutes, and they're called the Toilet Break Self-Care Kit. Why did I call it that? Because so many people kept telling me that they didn't have time to look after themselves. So each one of these self-care tips can be done in a trip to the loo. I'll put the links down below for the ways that you can actually access the Toilet Break Kit. So let's think, what is self-care? It's literally anything that makes you feel good. Often it's things that you do unconsciously. So what I want you to do is start doing them consciously. Let's take listening to music, for example. We often put music on when we're feeling good and we fancy a bot around the kitchen. But what I want you to do is to think to yourself, I'm putting on music to feel good. That way, you've become conscious of the act. Once you've told yourself this, your brain will find it much easier the next time to make the connection. So if you're feeling a bit low, it can think, I felt good when I listened to the music. I'll put some on now. It's making those conscious connections in your brain. Let's think eating. We reach for a biscuit, often subconsciously. What I mean by that is you haven't had a conversation in your head that says, consciously, I'm going to go and get a biscuit. So next time I want you to actually do that. I want you to notice that you're reaching for a biscuit. Be conscious and then ask yourself, why am I reaching for this biscuit? Am I hungry or am I bored? If the answer is bored, then you need to put the biscuit back down and go and do something else with your time. And identify to yourself, am I eating the biscuits at the same time of day? And if it is that, then make sure you keep yourself active during that time. Keep yourself doing something else so that your brain is always feeling as though it's doing something. I want you to start consciously creating your daily routines by asking yourself questions. So that could be, when do I feel more energetic? Find that time and do your exercise in that time. When do I feel tired? When do I feel like I want to have a nap? Well, in which case, make diary into your day a 20-minute nap time. That way you can get to know yourself better. So if we're struggling with feeling like it's not okay to put yourself first, how do we change our mindset on that? Well, when I talk to my clients, they say the same things as I've identified, which is they can do so much more. We can do so much more with our time when our cups are full because they don't feel so run down. That our relationships feel better, they've improved, and that makes life a lot less stressful. And it means a lot less time is given over to worry and overthinking. In fact, overthinking lessens quite quickly in our sessions due to the conscious thinking, meaning that they know who they are, what their boundaries are, and therefore are more certain in their decisions. So by making sure that they have regular self-care, i.e. doing things like they like to do more, they are more able to give to others. The best bit is those things can be done with other people too. If face masks are your thing, then great. But it may be going for a walk, reading a book, listening to music. I have a friend who goes out to gigs and bounces around as part of her self-care. One of the biggest changes is to know how to talk to yourself. Our brains only know what we listen to. So if we feed our brain a lot of negativity and lots of doubt, then we will feel negative and lacking in confidence. This is where the simple techniques like affirmations and gratitude come in. And I often put gratitudes out onto my socials. If you go into any of my groups, you'll see affirmations in there. Saying affirmations can feel funny at first because you're saying something you may not feel comfortable with, but bear with it. Because to start with, you will only be saying it in your head and no one else has to hear. It feels funny because your brain is used to you being unsure of yourself and suddenly you're saying nice stuff to it. So stick with it. Think of it being like learning to play the piano. You don't just sit down and play it like a concert pianist. You have to practice. I've been consistently telling myself nice things for over 2 years now and still have the odd wobble. But it's very rare and I'm good at moving away from those wobble very quickly so it doesn't get a hold of me on those days. The other technique, which is really easy to do, is gratitude. Being grateful is one of the highest vibrations we as humans can have. All our emotions create energetic vibrations and they also attract similar vibrations back. So if you're in a negative vibration, you're likely to attract negative people and negative situations. Well, then you're surrounding yourself with negativity. That then makes you feel worse. And round we go on the negative roundabout until you say, stop, I want to get off. Once the decision to get off is made, you can change your thought processes step by step to create more and more higher vibrations and looking for things to be grateful for. It's a fabulous way to raise your vibration. As I described with the affirmations, gratitudes can feel hard at first, but something as simple as being grateful for the food you eat, the bed you sleep in, the water you wash with, all of these things that we take for granted, but there are those who don't have them. So they're amazing things to be grateful for. I'm always really grateful for my cup of decaf coffee in the morning. It perks me up even without the caffeine. Again, like the affirmations, you will find gratitude easier over time. So just keep practicing. It's just so worth it. And guess what? When you thank somebody else, you raise their vibrations too. People will notice the change in you and some will follow your lead. Others will fall by the wayside. But you know what? Once you focus on your self-care, it will become addictive and you will find more and more ways to do it by changing the things that you do each day into things that make you feel good. Trust me, even the things that used to be hard for me to do now feel just so much easier. I'm wishing you all a fabulous new year and I'm hoping to get to see you all soon. My fabulous Just Being Me energy tracker is now available as an ebook for only £4.44. That's right, 12 months of energy tracking plus a section for identifying your energies in conjunction with the moon phases, plus my vibrational chart for just £4.44. Happy 2024. Thanks for listening today. If you'd like to know more, you can find all the links down below. Oh, and don't forget to press subscribe so you can catch the next one. See you soon.